Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Countdown to Prime Day webinar. If you were here for part one, this is part two, where we're going to dive deep into how you can scale your FBA with brand positioning and advertising tactics. And we're super excited to have both Rachel from Travailleurs and Kurt from Seller Rocket here. We're going to dive deep into tons of great tips and tricks. So we're very excited for what you're going to learn in this webinar. Here's a little overview of the agenda. So we're going to do an intro, and then we're going to dive deep into the topics that each of our speakers is going to talk about. And then we are going to have a Q&A session at the very end of the webinar. So make sure to send in your questions through the Q&A box so that our speakers can get to those as well. So if this is your first time here, you're new to our console, this is what you're seeing on your screen. There are tons of boxes there, so don't get overwhelmed. We're going to explain them here. So you have your Q&A box there where you can ask our panelists a question, any question at any time throughout the webinar. Please feel free to send that in through there. We also have a chat there where you can chat with us or with other audience members there as well. And we have a quick survey there. If you can give us just 1 minute to answer that, that would be great. And then on your right side of your screen, you have a box there where you can book a call with one of our experts at any time. And you can also claim our free ad audit, which we're going to talk about more at the end of the webinar. But you can claim that free ad audit at any time as well. And then you can meet our speakers in the bottom box there. You can see their emails or their LinkedIn profiles if you want to get in touch with them. So we want to get to know you. Please drop into the chat. Where are you from? What do you sell on Amazon? How long you've been selling? We really want to get a sense of who we have in the audience here today. And if you're new to Mayan, who is Mayan? We are the only Amazon inventory and PPC optimization platform that is designed for profitable growth. So we have profit-centric technology and strategies that drive unrivaled growth for our customers. And we have dedicated account managers who are Amazon and PPC experts. One of them is Chris Owicki here. We're backed by YC, and that's a brief overview of who we are. And then to our speakers today. So we have three Amazon great powerhouses here today. We have Chris Owicki here. He's an account manager at Mayan, and he started his own private label supply brand and did 6 figures in his first year. And he now works here at Mayan, helping other Amazon sellers grow their businesses. We have Rachel Greer here. She's a global Amazon marketplace strategist, and she has founded multiple 6- and 7-figure companies in under 3 years. She now helps entrepreneurs increase their product sales, their brand image, and avoid legal threats. And we also have Kurt here from Seller Rocket. He's the director of sales at Seller Rocket, and he has helped thousands of sellers get their products placed in editorial content that helps them be discovered by new customers. So we have Amazon powerhouses here today, and I'm just gonna hand it off to you guys so that we can get started on this. So thanks everyone for being here.
Thanks, Babs. Yeah, I can take it away. So yeah, I'm gonna go over Prime Day strategy using discounts and increasing ad spend in 4 steps, and go over pretty much the main pillars of what to expect for Prime Day and what to do before Prime Day even begins. So first and foremost, it's very, very, very important that you prep in advance for increase in inventory. You're going to want to send in your inventory well ahead of time into FBA. Typically, I recommend to send it in about a month before Prime starts. That gives plenty of time for check-in from Amazon. As you guys know, as sellers, Amazon likes to take their time, especially around Prime Day. They get very busy and backlogged. So it's very important that you send in your inventory ahead of time. When you are sending in your inventory ahead of time, it's also important to understand that you're going to see a bump in sales if you participate in Prime Day. That being said, you want to make sure that your pricing is set on your items as well ahead of time. Typically with Amazon, you want to do a 20% minimum discount to be on the Prime specific discounts. With that being said, you want to make sure that your pricing is set at least 30 days beforehand to make sure that that 20% off is relevant. You don't want to have a 10% off up until right before Prime Day, because when you go up to do that 20% off, it's going to be important that that 10% off is not there. That way that you are qualifying for the 20% off at your actual price point. So again, you'll want to make sure that you discount the product by a minimum of 20% off to take advantage of the Prime Day placements. A lot of times on Prime Day, people are only searching for Prime deals, myself included. I pretty much go through, and the build up into Prime Day, I will load up my cart on Amazon, and then I'll see what's on discount on Prime Day, and we'll only buy the items that are discounted. So it's very important that you do participate in the Prime Day discounts, and that is a minimum of 20% off to get those special placements. That being said, we've seen tremendous success of customers that do participate in Prime Day versus the customers that don't. This is a graph of one of our clients that did not participate in Prime Day in 2021. And then in 2022, they did participate, and you can see the vast difference in sales on those 2 days versus the previous year, 2 days. This is, again, participating in Prime Day, meaning giving the 20% off discount. Amazon will place you in certain areas on Amazon. And again, a lot of people are searching just for discounts. So if you don't have a discount, don't expect a huge uplift in sales just because there's extra traffic those days. A lot of the times this customer base is going to be looking for discounts specifically. On top of that, let me just go back a step. Another thing that you'll want to do before Prime Day starts is that you get your advertising in place. So you want to make sure that your budgets are increased, because you're going to expect a lot more foot traffic on those days. A lot of times we see 2 to 3x spend on advertising on Prime Day. And it's very important that you stay in budget throughout the whole day so you can drive the most sales as possible. Another thing on top of that as well is you'll want to make sure that you're increasing your bids, because a lot of people get more competitive on Prime Day. So it is a good practice to increase your bids ahead of time and set budget rules in place on Prime Day to make sure that you are in budget throughout the day and performing at the best possible rate you can. Lastly, another thing to do to prep for Prime Day is drive external traffic to your store. So that means posting on your social media pages, your website pages, your direct to consumer website pages, and also email marketing to make sure that you're driving as much traffic as possible to Amazon so they can take advantage of these discounts. Given the data we've seen from the past Prime Days and holiday seasons, it's important to sellers to have deals available for consumers that are clearly looking for discounts around Prime Day. Again, I already covered that. It's very important that you are giving those discounts for Prime Day, because a lot of customers are only looking for discounts. On top of that, it's important to make sure that your ad campaigns are ready and that they're in a good position so that you're not on Prime Day making sure stuff isn't running out of budget and turning stuff on and off all throughout the day, but you have budget rules set in place beforehand and you increase your budgets beforehand. On top of that too, it's important that you ship in enough inventory to cover the spike in sales, but you don't want to do too much where your cash flow is tied up after the event is over, or you're sitting on 2 years of supply of inventory before you start to see sales like that again. On top of that too, the last thing to mention is the 20% discount. Like I mentioned, that it's very important that you are doing the 20% discount, but I realize that's not possible for everyone's products. So it's very important that you're looking at your product's margins when you're contemplating whether you can or cannot do that 20% discount for Prime Day. Cool, and I'll pass it on over to Rachel.
Awesome, thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted to go over today is about thinking about how your customer interacts with you and how that will help you to use Prime Day as a way to grow your customer base and to grow your raving customer fan base. That's really what our long-term goal is in a lot of ways on Amazon, is to maximize the repurchase rate that your brand has. So the first question that you should be asking about your brand is, do you know where your customer is most likely to interact with your brand first? And how are they likely to feel about your brand based on that interaction? And so what I mean by that is, if you are in retail, or if you are also at Walmart, or if you have your own website and you're running Facebook ads, at what point is the customer most likely to encounter you? And do you have a solid sense of how they're going to feel when they see that ad? Are they going to be surprised, excited? Are they going to be confused? Are they going to think this is expensive? There's a lot of potential ways that someone could experience your product, and depending on who that customer is, be happy about it or potentially not be happy about it. But the first step is just to list out, okay, where are people going to find my product? How are they going to feel about it if they find it there? When you're thinking about how you use advertising and how you use marketing on Amazon, understanding the customer's journey through awareness of your brand, awareness of your product, consideration of your product, and then actually choosing to purchase your product, that journey is critical to understanding how you can achieve new customer acquisition on Amazon, and understanding the cost of new customer acquisition on Amazon. Generally, it can be cheaper than off Amazon acquisition or retail acquisition, but not knowing that means that you may not either be spending the right amount on ads, either under or over what you should be spending on ads. So when you're putting together your customer journey, you want to define those touch points. Are you solely online, or are you in retail spaces as well? And where are you online? Do you have an engaged following? Are you running a lot of social media ads? And where does your customer see your brand first? So if someone is first seeing you on Facebook, say, maybe it's a video ad that you're running on Facebook. And for a lot of brands, this makes the most sense, especially if you've got something fairly unique, something patented, or some sort of new invention, where a video makes the most sense to get people to understand what you're trying to offer. We worked with a brand a few years back who actually did this as a full A/B test for about 3 to 4 months, where they did specific runs of Facebook ads and then didn't change anything about their Amazon ads, and then evaluated how much traffic was coming into Amazon based on Facebook. Because you can't just think, okay, I'm running Facebook ads to my website, that means I'm spending just to get traffic to my website. What ends up happening is, for them, it was about a 35% lift that was happening from their Facebook ads on Amazon that were not attributed. So people were watching on Facebook, and then they were clicking over to their Amazon mobile app, typing in the name of the product, and then buying it on Amazon. And so if you are running ads elsewhere off of Amazon, if you are working with influencers, if you are working with various retailers, whether big box or small, how the customer interacts with your product can be sometimes hard to predict. And that's the tricky part of this, is where are they going to see you first? And how does that make them think of your product if they see your Facebook ad first, or if they see you in a store first? Making a long list here of potential entry points for different brands is going to be an important part of this. And sometimes it can be just Amazon, sometimes it'll be off Amazon, sometimes it'll be retail. It's really up to what you're working on and what your brand is. Once you have that list of entry points, then you want to define the customer experience at that entry point and what kind of customer that is. So Chris was talking about doing deals. On Prime Day, if you do deals on Prime Day, you have a very specific customer showing up and looking for deals on Prime Day. They may or may not be the right fit for your brand. So one of the things that we like to think about is, if there is a repurchase potential for your brand, either for a gift or because they need a second one in their home, or because you sell something that can be regularly reused like a CPG product, then your goals with deals aren't necessarily to make a profit on the deal, but rather to acquire a new customer that you can then send ads to, offer a brand tailored promotion to, and so on. So thinking of how the customer journey works for your product, if you have some sort of reorder potential, then think of Prime Day or Black Friday or Cyber Monday, but specifically Prime Day in this case, as your ingress point for that customer to get them into your brand and to be able to then, for lack of a better term, harass them with your ads until they come back and buy again. So with the deal, the goal is to make the customer feel special during the deal because, say if you're a higher end brand and you don't discount very often, you may choose to discount just a few things on Prime Day, not a whole bunch of things, so that the customer says, oh, wow, it's on sale, I need to buy it, because usually it's not on sale. And so often customers will add items that they really want to their wish list or their shopping cart, but not check out until there's some sort of discount. And so that particular kind of customer may be good for you, maybe not, but be thinking about, okay, what kind of customer shows up and is just there for the deal? For an entry point through an ad, depending on what kind of ad you have, then you're reaching a different portion of that customer's buying journey. So if you're talking about, say, streaming TV, that is usually reaching a customer, ideally, who doesn't even know you exist yet, who doesn't know that the product exists yet. If you're trying to, say, sell a kitchen appliance for parties, then you would want to run streaming TV ads to people who had bought party supplies, or people who, for whatever way you can define it, have children, or who buy items for children. And so thinking about, okay, are we looking at folks before they're even aware that they want to buy it? And if so, with Prime Day, you want to be starting out 6-8 weeks before using something like streaming TV to build that awareness, to build that understanding in the mind of the customer that your brand and your product exist. Then you can go into, okay, now that you're in the market, or now that you're interested in the product or whatever it happens to be that you're trying to pitch to them, now they're trying to decide, okay, I'm interested in this product. Is this the brand I'm interested in? Is this really the right brand for what I need and for what I want? And that's usually going to happen through sponsored brand, sometimes through specific keywords with sponsored products. But usually you're going to be thinking about, okay, how do I get them to consider my brand now that they're in the market for the product because I've given them awareness of it? And then finally, are they going to buy it? Are they going to buy it now? And so those are usually going to be your sponsored products, your remarketing ads. And so when you're thinking about setting up Prime Day as a successful endeavor for your business, you shouldn't just be thinking about Prime Day specifically. You should be thinking about a couple months ahead of time, getting all of these set up where you have streaming TV running, you have your awareness, your consideration, your purchase intent funnels going, and then your post Prime Day funnels going as well, so that you're capturing all those folks who showed up to your page. When you're deciding how much to spend and where to spend it, it's really helpful to know who your buyer persona is. This is a few examples. One of the things that a lot of brands struggle with is who their buyer persona is on Amazon. And I've worked with a few folks who were very confident they knew who their buyer personas were. And when we did the research on Amazon, we found that they were just wrong. In one case, it was a client who was convinced that their persona was hikers, very active outdoor people. And that was absolutely correct for Instagram. They had the data to back it up for Instagram, but on Amazon, their customer persona was moms, usually moms of teenagers who were exercising. So the product was just a healthy snack. And so on Instagram, they got a lot of engagement, a lot of follows, a lot of people buying from the outdoor adult community. But on Amazon, it was moms buying for their teenagers. And so just because you know who your personas are off of Amazon doesn't mean you know who your personas are on Amazon. If you're running DSP, AMC can help you with this, but you don't need that. You can figure it out by doing different kinds of tests with your existing ads. So try the storefront ads or product collection ads with different people in the primary image and see which one gets the most clicks. Make a page that targets different kinds of people on your storefront and drive ads to that and see who is actually driving the most sales. We had another client where we did this, and our choice was eco-conscious people, cost-saving people, or people who are into really expensive soap. We were just trying to figure out which persona was actually going to make us the most money. And our client was convinced it was eco-conscious people. And I'm like, I don't know. Altruism doesn't really sell much stuff. And we tested it, and it was cost savings by far. Cost savings was what drove the most sales. And so if you're not sure what your buyer personas are on Amazon, but you have some research, you have some ideas, you can use ads to test those out and figure that out. And then that helps you to have the best possible results on Prime Day, where you're going all in on the ads and the visuals that are most likely to get you the sales. I also recommend setting really specific budget goals and sticking to them because it can be really expensive, not only to set up your awareness funnels, but then do your follow-up funnels afterwards, not to mention the discount on Prime Day. And honestly, 20% is kind of the minimum. We usually see 30% get the kind of results that you really want in terms of traffic. And I know when I say that to folks, like there's always this like gut punch feeling of 30%, are you kidding me? Think of it as an investment in getting those customers. And be sure to measure those successes and failures. Did the campaigns for awareness actually drive the kind of impressions you were looking for? Did they increase your branded searches on Amazon? Did it actually work? You need to measure this and not just hope for the best. And then once you are doing all this and trying to drive to the particular persona that you're looking for, or personas that you're looking for, follow up with your reviews, actually talk to people who leave you feedback. I know a lot of people just look at feedback and they're like, oh, 5 stars, good, I'm done. Or 1 star, request removal. And that's all they do with it. But it can be really helpful, especially on the 5-star ones, to reach out to the customer and just say, thank you. I'd really appreciate if you can give feedback. Thank you so much for your feedback. And we're trying to always improve this every day. Can you please answer this survey? Or, could you please answer this question for me? You can engage, don't engage a lot, but you can engage at least once with the people who have reached out to you. Obviously, they've already reached out to you with their feedback. Otherwise, try not to bug them unless they've contacted you, but ask them, why did you love it? Why did you hate it? Look at the returns comments. A lot of people skip the returns comments. Some of them are stupid, right? People trying to get a return for free with defective, but there are a lot of useful pieces of that particular document that can help you say, okay, I'm targeting the wrong person, or I'm targeting the right person. Let's do more of that. When you define target metrics, it really depends on your brand. So it could be that you're going for repeat purchases, especially with CPG brands. You want to be going for a specific percentage of repeats. With supplements, say, I'm usually looking for between 30 and 40% of orders coming in from repeats, and then the rest coming in from new customers, obviously. But what about your cart abandonment rates? Are you trying to increase the number of people who check out immediately? Are you just trying to hit a specific sales and profitability number? And then how do you achieve those in a primary metric format? And what I mean by primary metric is you can't control ROAS. What you can control is you can control the bids that you have. You can control where you're willing to pay more for placement, and you can control what exactly you're bidding on. You can't control ROAS, right? So by changing your bid amount, your placement, or what you're bidding on, then you can get a different ROAS. But ROAS being a secondary metric is not something you can directly control. So think about, how do you improve those metrics at the primary stage? What bids am I doing? What targets do I have? And then that will result in, say, your overall sales or your conversion rates or your ROAS being solid. Here's some examples of target metrics that we're working on right now with multiple clients. So repeat purchase rates, total sales, tacos is a big one. What's your conversion rate? My favorite now is storefronts now have engagement data, so dwell time and bounce rates, which is fantastic. They have it per page, and then if you have the engagement tab, then you also have it per product. Top keyword ranking using brand analytics. Purchased item report. A lot of people skip this report, but I find it very useful to see what people are buying along with the product that I advertised to have them land on? And then what did they actually end up checking out with? Are we reigning in stock? I think a big part of this that I'm actually very concerned how this is going to work for a lot of folks is the new low stock fees. So normally with Prime Day, I think a lot of folks were totally fine with just, hey, look, we're just selling through a bunch of stuff. This is great. But now you can't just think about that if you're running like a PED. You actually need to be watching your sales throughout the day and make sure you don't drop below 28 days. Otherwise, you could be paying a fee for everything that sells after Prime Day. Pretty annoying. Making sure that your deal performance, glance views, and sales are within what you're going for, that the return on investment is there. Do you have A+ on everything? Is the A+ using all of the newest widgets? They launch a new widget every month or two now. And are you getting the SEO indexing that you're looking for? And what's your overall BSR? There's a bunch of other metrics that you could be tracking here. And so it's really about your brand. What is your brand tracking? And what is your brand trying to achieve? Whether it's durable goods, apparel, or CPG products, people coming back and buying every month or two. And then just keep working on it. I know this is the boring part, but get comfortable with spreadsheets and just keep working on it, keep improving it, keep targeting those customers in a more narrow way, try to improve the ranks on this. And then customer journeys develop over time, and the things that you do can have an effect on how that customer journey exists. We worked with a client who was doing a wig product, and they were convinced that their primary customer on Amazon was African-American women who are wearing wigs. And so they changed all of their images, every single one, no matter what color of the wig product, to African-American women. And their overall conversion rate increased, but they dropped through the floor on the nude and ivory colors, because obviously someone lands on nude and ivory, they're not African-American. And so they just went too far in the direction of, oh, our customer on Amazon is this person, we're going to replace all of our images with that person. And then they ended up tanking a couple of their products. And so it's always iterative. You make a change. And the best thing about making changes like this is you can always change it back. And so for winning Prime Day, the goals that I usually set are about traffic, trying to get traffic to the right type of customer so that you can then retarget them afterwards. If you can get a huge volume of people to your page, you have the opportunity to then drive traffic to them for up to 90 days afterwards. That's actually one of the reasons I like the October preview as well, because then you can drive traffic to them through Christmas. But for this one, this carries you through October, basically, for all of your traffic. And then if anyone buys, of course, you can target them for the next year. So bottom line, make that offer exciting so you get the clicks. And then you can continue to iterate on trying to get those customers to buy for 3 more months, so that Prime Day isn't just one day where you're making sales, but it can then reap benefits for months down the road.
Hey, it's my turn. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Really great presentations so far. So my name is Kurt Hummerkauser. Working with Seller Rocket. We started in 2019. During that time, it was the pilot phase of the Amazon editorial recommendations. If anybody remembers those showing up on the Amazon search page, those stopped showing up in April 5th of last year. But our company's leadership, the way that we got involved with that program is because our company's leadership founded bestreviews.com, which is, you see them on all different search terms on Google if you're looking for the best of any type of product. So through Best Reviews, they piloted the on-site associates program with Amazon, found success in driving revenue for top tier publishers that were also in that program. Apparently, it was kind of hard for publishers to have success through the Amazon editorial recommendations. They would publish content and then it would never show up, and they just didn't know why. But we figured it out, and then it kept changing afterwards. But today we help over 4,500 brands drive over $100 million in gross merchandise value through over 500 different publications that are in our network. There's a few of them listed here on the page. Essentially what we're doing is we just drive external traffic to Amazon now. And the reason why you would want to drive external traffic to Amazon, it improves your ranking, drives more organic sales, top ranking products that, they're found at the top of the search page, top ranked in their category. Those are the products that get picked up by publishers organically, which drives more brand awareness, more branded search on Google, which drives more external traffic and boosts your organic rank, and it just keeps going. Sometimes I'll talk with sellers and they say, I just cannot catch my competition. They are in all of these articles. Like, no matter what we do, we just can't get anywhere near the amount of revenue that they drive. And yeah, that's because there's a whole separate group of people that are searching on Google versus searching on Amazon, as Rachel was explaining. This is the most common type of article that we get products placed in, and I think that this type of article drives a very consistent amount of sales over the course of a year, possibly, maybe even longer. If you're searching for the best heating pads, there's going to be a dozen articles that show up on Google, each one of them with their own recommendations. And a lot of times the way publishers choose these products is just looking at Amazon, the top ranked products in that category that they're writing about, and choosing the number 1, number 2, and number 3 bestseller. And then maybe they have an affiliate offer through Share a Sale, CJ, Impact, all those other affiliate platforms. I think that's what's happening here in this cutting board article with best reviews. The Caraway brand, theirs is not linking to Amazon. Usually if it's going to link anywhere other than Amazon, it's the publisher is working with that brand through an affiliate platform. And these articles, they show up every time somebody is searching for the best cutting boards. If you think, who would be searching on Google for the best cutting boards? Somebody who is intending to buy a cutting board, and they don't just want the cheapest thing that's on Amazon. They went to Google first. They want to find the best. They want some advice on which one they should choose. Maybe they already looked at Amazon and they're just overwhelmed with the 50 products that show up on the page. And so they go to Google and they look for confirmation. Tentpole events are also a really great time for coverage. I've had clients picked up for Prime Day, specifically this People magazine article. We had some cutting boards wedged in there between Dyson air purifiers, Apple AirPods. But Prime Day isn't the only event of the year. There's Mother's Day coming up really soon, Father's Day, a zillion different holidays in between. This is where it's really important to have a discount on your product. Publishers are looking for discounts. The way that we get products placed is just essentially sending lists of products to these publishers and saying, hey, these are the products that have deals running for Prime Day. You're the first to hear about it because it's not being advertised. These are the upcoming deals. They have exclusive deal information that they can point to. And myself, when I'm looking for, like, it's Prime Day, what should I buy? I'll go to Google and just look for articles like this to, somebody please summarize the thousands and thousands of products that are on sale on Amazon. Show me the good ones. Which ones are, what should I be buying right now? What's really a deal or something I never even thought I needed. Trending products. This is another way that we found success with publishers is giving them products that are trending. Air purifiers over the last year have taken off. I think some of our top clients are selling air purifiers. I thought it was because of the wildfires last year, but then those kind of died off and air purifiers kept selling. So this is a very researched category of product. It's a higher ticket item, so people are going to want to make sure that they're purchasing the right one. I'm not sure if you can get air purifiers for less than $100. I think that's usually the price point. So of course people are going to do a little bit of research before they make that purchase, and yeah, so they look towards these articles. Interesting finds. This is kind of a place where anything can fit, like this really cool crab silicone utensil rest that was in this BuzzFeed article. There's a lot of times that my clients, they'll get picked up by BuzzFeed and they get picked up 10 times. And I don't see this product getting picked up. Maybe it's hard to place in articles. Maybe there's not a lot of products that are similar to it. Like, how would you compare this red the crab silicone utensil rest to anything else? The best utensil rests? Well, sure, but this one's really unique. It's not just a utensil rest, it's a cool one. So I really like BuzzFeed, 22 Words, these sites that give you a long list of random products. I think they're great. And they can drive really great results as well. Dedicated articles. So this is a type of article that we do from time to time. It's not as, I think that this is what sellers are looking for a lot of times when they want to have an article written about their brand. They want something that explains every detail of why their brand is the best, why you should be choosing their product. Those really unique features that separate their brand from any other competitors would be listed in these types of articles. The thing is, these articles don't rank for the same broad search terms like shower steamers. They're not showing up for the best shower steamers. So people don't find these when they're looking for shower steamers and don't know which brand they want to choose. They find these when they search for your brand, which they already have a good amount of purchase intent. And also sometimes publishers will promote these pages as well. If you're to work with a publisher directly, they have their own networks that they push these articles out to, so they can drive really great results. What I have seen is it's normally a spike, and then it goes right back down. Whereas the roundup articles, the best heating pads of 2024, those types of articles, those stay ranked all year. You know, they show up every time somebody's searching for a heating pad. I think that these articles are great for backlinks as well, and saying as seen on. It's always great to have Jones effect. Jones effect is what it's called. So this kind of rhymes with what Chris was saying. What publishers are looking for is a minimum of 20% discount on items. They're looking for trending or seasonal products. If you think of like a writers don't, I mean, they're just a person. I'm not aware of all the brands that are out there. I'm not even a category expert. So if somebody can send me a list of products that are trending seasonally, and then I can just write an article about them, that makes my job easy if I'm a publisher. So these are kind of the types of lists that we send to publishers. Products with heavy discounts, trending or seasonal products, holiday specific, products that are trying to push inventory, they're trying to liquidate, or also including 2 or 3 features that stand out amongst competitors helps to get great coverage, or to call out that one product that is unique. So I kind of mentioned this earlier, but the way that publishers decide which product to include in their articles, most of the time they are just looking at Amazon and pulling products from the category top sellers. But they also can find products in other affiliate platforms like CJ, Impact, Share a Sale. Brands typically will set their commission in those programs, and I don't understand how publishers will find products in there unless they're sorting by the brand, if they're searching for the brands they know and looking for any deals that they're offering, or maybe they sort by which one's going to give them the biggest commission that also fits the category that they're writing about. I know if a brand is to work directly with a publisher, they can get really great content. It's a page just about them. It says everything they want it to say, and that's usually very expensive to work with a publisher directly. We have rate cards for working with Dotdash Meredith. It's from a couple years ago now, but it was a minimum of $20,000, and then you're also paying a cost per click. And then there's another package where they will boost through their social channels. It's another $10,000. So spending $30,000 and getting one article, that doesn't sound great to me. But hey, there are some brands that works really well for. Maybe that's how they got their start. That's how they got massive public awareness of their brand. PR agencies are also great. We're almost a PR agency. I think we're somewhere between a PR agency and an affiliate platform. We are sending very specific lists to these publishers saying, hey, if you feature these products, we'll pay you additional commissions on top of what Amazon is paying you. So that's the publisher's incentive to work with us. But PR agencies are usually former publishing employees, and so they have experience in that side of the industry. So they just call their friends and say, hey, that thing we've always did when we were working together, let's do it again with this brand. And I think that's pretty easy when your friends are calling you saying, hey, we do this the way we normally do things, and not a brand saying, hey, can you write all of these great things about me and present me in this way and that way? And brands usually have a laundry list of features they want highlighted, and that may not always fit with what the publishers do. I was just speaking of the publisher rate cards, and in one of those, I remember it says there's like, you get no details, you get no influence over what we write. We're going to write what we want to write in this article, which I think that could be a shock to brands. We try and get out of the publisher's way and let them write what they want to write. In most cases, publishers are not trying to write anything bad about a product. Their intention is to help sell the product. So they're either going to only say good things, or they're going to say as little as possible so they don't leave any room to make a mistake in what they're writing. Oh, and I've got a promo for you guys. If you mention this Mayan webinar, we'll give you 30% off of editorial recommendations with Seller Rocket. That's my contact information as well.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. That was very insightful. We're going to open it up to some questions now. We do have a few questions here. The first one here is, what are ways to stay in contact with a new customer once Prime Day is over? Any of you guys can take this one?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in on that. So if you are thinking about all the different touch points that your customer has with you, one of them that often is overlooked is packaging. And sometimes you can put inserts, sometimes you can make the packaging part of it. My favorite was a protein bar company we worked with, because you're going to keep the box. Otherwise, the protein bars go everywhere in the pantry. And so we could put a little note on the inside of the box that says, looks like you're almost out, go here. 10% off, and a little QR code that would give them a 10% off to go buy a replacement box. And so I would say packaging is a good one, making sure to use your brand tailored promotions, and then just using a ton of sponsored display. Amazon did take away the email campaign option. I'm hopeful that they'll bring it back in some format. They redid it like 3 times before killing it last month. So hopefully it'll come back in some form. But those are the main ways that I would say that you can reach out to them. And then one of the things that I really liked about the Seller Rocket presentation is Amazon also now allows you to do a lookalike audience from your brand referral link. So you can have the brand referral link drive traffic to your page, and then somebody checks out or not, but you can then use that as a custom audience in sponsored display and follow up with them afterwards as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. Another question here is, and I think this one you can take, Chris. Would you recommend using different discounts for different products?
Yes, I think it depends on what you're trying to achieve with each product. And also what your margins are like on said products and what your overall goal is. To Rachel's point that she handled brilliantly, is sometimes it's not about the immediate future. It's not about Prime Day specifically. It's the 3 to 6 months after Prime Day and what you do from Prime Day and how that is effective 3 to 6 months after the fact. So you have your options of your like 20%, 30% discounts for Prime Day, and that can get you really, really great placement. That's a really good opportunity to kind of leapfrog in ranks. However, you might not have the margins for 20%, but you want to participate somehow. That's where couponing can come into play as a kind of a backup option, or just your normal regular /through discounted deals. So it's kind of dependent on your margins and what you're after for the specific product. So it's case to case per product, but just make sure that you're thinking about the long-term future and the next, and the short to mid-term future as well when you're planning these deals out. That a lot of times it is good to take a loss at first for Prime Day, but you'll be miles ahead of your competitor 3 to 6 months down the road.
Awesome.
And one
I
of the
think
things
sorry. Go ahead, Rachel.
I absolutely love using Prime Day as a clearance day. So if you have something that's hanging around and it's messing with your IPI and is just not moving, like just put it 50% off. Like it's so much cheaper than trying to remove it or destroy it now that Amazon's raised those fees. And then you get a nice little bump and you can retarget people who bought from you. So if you've got something that's kind of hanging around, like Prime Day is a great time to get rid of it.
Yeah, well put.
Definitely. And I think that ties into this other question. Are there specific metrics or KPIs that I should focus on when evaluating the success of Prime Day?
Yeah, I guess I can tackle it. There's going to be a bunch of different ones. I think Rachel mentioned it, but making sure your kind of budgets and goals are in place before Prime Day is a very great start. But yeah, I mean, you can look at your overall sales. You can look at your BSR, so your sales ranks for the set products that you're seeing a nice bump on. You can see the increase in potential customers and, let's say, brand tailored promotions for down the road advertising. And then you can check your KPIs on your, sponsored display advertising after Prime Day is over for retargeting. So you can make sure that you see an increase in impressions and clicks on your retargeting. That's a really good thing to keep an eye out on, because that means you're getting more new customers into your, flywheel, and then you're able to get them sales down the road as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Those were the questions that our audience had. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to either drop them into the chat or Q&A box right now, or you can contact our panelists directly. You have their contact info there. And upcoming webinar, we are going to have a webinar April 25th, where we'll be showcasing Mayan's products and tools and how they can help optimize your profitability for your FBA business. So be sure to tune into that. If you register for this webinar, you're automatically going to get an invite for that one as well. So check your inbox. And then just to wrap things up, we do want to talk to you a bit more about our free ad audit. So what is an Amazon advertising audit? What we do here is we have our Amazon and PPC experts take a multifaceted approach in auditing your advertising to ensure that you are getting the most organic and ad sales for your budget. So our team provides you with a 20+ page report with recommended opportunities to reduce your budget while maintaining the same sales, or even 2xing or even 3xing sometimes your sales with the same budget. So our team reviews everything from types of products to your keywords that you're using to your campaign structures. And we provide you with this 20+ page report where you'll get all these valuable insights there. We know that your privacy is super important to you. So rest assured that all of your data remains confidential and we don't store any information at all. We just look at it to identify these areas of growth, and we don't keep anything. So if you want to claim your free ad audit, you can do that right now by clicking that box right there that you see on your screen, or scanning this QR code here, or visiting this URL right below. You can claim your audit at any time. And if you want to do that as well after the webinar is over, you can do that too by visiting our website, mayan.co. So that's it. Thanks everyone for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to contact either us or our panelists. And we'll see you in our next webinar. Thank you, Chris, Kurt, and Rachel. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.